Hi all, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to speak to you about a problem that many of you living here in Germany would have faced by now. There is nothing but unauthorized telephone advertising or cold calls. So in this video I'll be explaining in detail about what unauthorized telephone advertising is, and also I'll be providing you with a solution in order to avoid these type of calls. So please watch this video till the end. So as many of you might be knowing, telephone advertisings are basically done in order to promote a particular company's product. So these people, when they call the consumers, they speak in such a way that somehow the consumer is convinced and they are forced to sign up for a contract with them by the end of the call. The commonly seen examples of telephone advertisings are wherein online trading offers are introduced, or it might be about some newspaper subscriptions, or a telephone service provider introduces a new telephone tariff or some electricity tariff, and so on. So this is a very wide topic. So the thing that you should understand here is that these type of calls are strictly prohibited by the government here. That is, in order to do telephone advertisings, a particular company should get the prior consent of the consumer before calling him or her. And also, the callers are not allowed to hide their numbers while advertising over phone. Now, there are some callers who might say that they've already got the so-called consent from the consumer just because the consumer would have attended some online survey in the past. Now let me give you an example for this. You know, my husband had attended an online survey for an online trading offer some 3 months back, and there he had shared his phone number also. And you know, these people, after getting his phone number, they started continuously calling him and asking him to sign up for a contract with them. So even though he said that he's not interested several times, they were not stopping and they were calling from different numbers and asking him to sign up for a contract with them. So only now we have found out a solution for this, and now we have permanently blocked their numbers. So what you must understand here is that giving a consent means it should be really clear and transparent. That is, the consumer should know about the name of the company and also the service that they are going to promote well in advance before the actual advertising over phone. So in any other case, telephone advertising is strictly prohibited here. And one more thing that I would like to add on here is that you must also know clearly what is not an unauthorized telephone advertising. See, suppose a company is calling you and they're just telling you about a new service that they are providing, and they're just trying to collect your opinion regarding that, then that is not unauthorized telephone advertising, because they are not asking you to sign up for a contract with them or buy their product or something. They're just telling you about the service that they are providing. Also, sometimes we get these scam calls wherein somebody is asking you to share your bank details, passwords, etc. That also does not come under these unauthorized telephone advertising calls, because that is a criminal offense and that should be handled separately. Now let's see how we can avoid these type of calls permanently. So in Germany, we have a federal network agency which handles these type of cases. So they have a website known as the Bundesnetzagentur, wherein you can open a new case against this particular company who's trying to call you. And here you can also mention the numbers from which you're getting these type of calls. So once you submit the case, you'll get a case number which can be used as a reference number. Okay, then the federal network agency will go through your case, and then they'll first contact you in order to do some background verification. That is, they will first ask you if you have given any consent for this company to call you, and if you just reply that you have not given any consent, then they will take care of the remaining things. So what they will first do is that they will block this particular number or the numbers that you have mentioned from calling you again. So one good thing is that they will not just block this number from calling you, they will also block this number from calling any other person here in Germany. So you know, if this particular company tries to call you even after this ban, the Federal Network Agency can impose a very huge fine on them. So in order to know about what are the cases that they have handled so far and the fines imposed so far, you can check their website. So now I am going to show you how you can register a case with the Bundesnetzagentur in detail. First, we have to enter into the Bundesnetzagentur website. Try not to select the translate option from here itself, because the results won't be very correct sometimes. So there is an option to select English as a language inside the website itself, so you can do it from there. So as I told you, there is an option to select English as a language to view this page, but what I would suggest is that do not select English in the beginning itself, because what I've seen is that in some pages the translations are not very correct. In the first page you can see several categories, but our topic today is about telecommunication or telecommunication. So let's select that. In the next page, you have to select Verbraucher Themen Telekommunikation or consumer issues. And then select Rufnummernmissbrauch or telephone number misuse. And then click on this link. In this page, they have explained everything about telephone number misuse and how they handle it legally. So from this page onwards, you can translate using Google Translate, and then you can read it if you want to understand better. Now click on this link, which takes you directly to the Unauthorized Telephone Advertising page. In this page, they have explained everything about Unerlaubte Telefonwerbung or unauthorized telephone advertising, about which I have also explained earlier. Here we have to select Beschwerde einreichen or to give complaints. You can either give a complaint online, or there's a PDF document attached here which you can download and fill the details, and then you can send it to them via post. In the next page, you have to answer some questions in order to give a complaint. So the first question what they are asking is if you have given a verbal consent or a written consent to this particular company in order to call you and do this telephone advertising. If the answer is no, then you can select 9 here. The next question is, have you already told this particular caller to stop calling you? If the answer is yes, then you can select yeah. You can also mention the date on which you have asked this particular caller to stop calling you. So when you mention a date, you have to mention in the format date, month and year. So the next thing what they've asked is if you have received any announcements over phone related to this case. If it is no, then you can select 9. Next, they are asking you to mention the telephone number using which these people have called you. And suppose if some callers have hidden their numbers, you can select kind display here. Then you have to mention your mobile number to which these people have called you. can mention the date on which you have received the first call. Here also the date should be mentioned in date, month and year format. Next, you have to mention the category of the telephone advertising call that you have received. So in our case, it was online trading, so we are mentioning that here. So in case you know the name of the company that had called you, then you can mention that here. So in case you do not know that, you can just leave it blank. That is not a mandatory field. So as I have mentioned earlier, these people might call you from different numbers in order to advertise the same product. So in case you have received call from different numbers, you can mention all those numbers here. Suppose you have already filed a complaint against a particular company, and even after a ban, if these people call you from different numbers, then you can mention all those mobile numbers here, and also you can mention the parent case number so that all these numbers also get appended to this case number. In case this is a new case, then you can just leave it blank. So this case number will always be used as a reference number. Then in the comment section, you can mention in detail about your issue. Here there is also an option in order to attach a call recording of you with that particular company in case you have it, but that can only be done with the consent of that company. Then click Weiter in order to proceed to the next page. Actually here I've got an error, that is in the field where I've mentioned the mobile numbers, several mobile numbers, there was some format error there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just mentioning one number here, and the other mobile numbers I'll be mentioning it in the comment section. And then you can select Weiter, which will take us to the next page. In this page, you have to simply fill your contact details, that is your first name, your last name, your address, your phone number, your email address, and so on. And then if you select Weiter from this page, your case will be registered. So since we are just showing you an example, we are not clicking Weiter, otherwise the case will be registered. So that's it friends. So I've shown you in detail about how you can register a case with the Federal Network Agency. So in case you have found this video useful, please do give a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. And in case you know of any friends who are facing the same problem, you can also forward it to them. So in our case, our problem was completely solved after we registered a complaint with the Federal Network Agency. So I can really assure you that once you register a complaint, these people will definitely take an action. So thank you all for watching this video patiently, and see you all in another video.